third in the series of controversial davenings around the high holidays, and today I am admitting this is going to be the most controversial for many people, and that is the time that you should and shouldn't say Slichot. So when the Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Jewish Law, brings this minhag of saying Slichot, he says explicitly, Nohagim lakum ba'ashmoret lomar Slichot v'tachanunim. We get up at a time called Ashmoret to say Slichot from the beginning of the month of Elul. The Ramah says that's not the Ashkenazic minhag. The Ashkenazic minhag is the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah, unless there isn't 4 days, and then it's the Saturday night before the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. But he too says, Omdim ba'ashmoret lomar slichot. You only say slichot at Ashmoret. What's Ashmoret? Ashmoret is the hour before dawn. Very, very, very early in the morning. Explains the Bach in the Mishnah Berurah that according to the Gemara and Avodah Zarah, Begimel Sha'ot Achronot Shat Ba'olam Hazeh, God is in this world in the last 3 hours of the night, and therefore we want to get him and talk to him and ask him for everything we ask for in Slichos when he's very close to us, which is the last 3 hours of the night. So ultimately, that's the time to say Slichot. In addition, the Magen Avraham in the laws of fast day says, "And lomar kodem chatzot alayla shum slichot velot yom u'gim yom u'midot b'shum panim le'olam." Do not say slichot, or the 13 attributes of mercy, at night until midnight. And indeed, the Magen Avraham says that many people get up for something called tikkun chatzot, mourning over the destruction of the temple, and that indeed, as its namesake is, from midnight. So ultimately, according to the Machatzit HaShekel, at the end of the day, and I quote his words, so we have 2 good times to say Slichot, and that is at an 8 ratzon, at a time that's favorable. The 8 ratzon is from midnight till dawn. Explains Rav Moshe Feinstein that it's not enough over the time of Slichos to be in the right place, a shul, which is definitely a favorable place to daven. It's not even enough to be in the right crowd, and that is in a minyan, which is also a favorable place to daven, but rather you need to have the right time, an 8 ratzon on the watch. And that time is, as we said, from midnight until dawn. Now let's say you can't get up so early, for whatever reasons. Your schedule does not allow it. Can you say Slichot after dawn, namely during the day? The Munkatcher Rebbe indeed said it was terrible. He said, "Lo yadati ma'u kavanatam eta'amam shel anshe ma'aseh shenimna'im lomar slichot bekatrula detzafra." He doesn't understand the people that say it during the day. Uva'al kochenu gam b'yemei Elul v'aser yemei tshuva. Even at a time which is a favorable time on the calendar, people would nimna'im lomar slichot. People would not say slichos at the right time. They would wait till it's daytime, and then they would say it, and it's very strange. It's against everything we just said. The Shulchan Aruch says Ashmoret. We made a case for midnight, but other than that, how do you say slichos during the day? Having said that, the Ephraim Margaliot brings the law about people that say it during the day. If indeed you start saying Slichot before dawn, then you don't have to change anything in the book. But he says, if indeed you say it after dawn, during the day, you have to change some of the words. Sometimes in the Slichos we talk about Laila, we talk about the night. Therefore, you have to go ahead and change the words, or skip over those words, so that it wouldn't be mechse keshikra, wouldn't look like you're lying. Indeed, the Matar Ephraim in his parish, on his parish, the Elef Lamagen, says, Avi mitacher lomar ad achar shehir hayom, lo yivatel ma'amirat slichot, lifnei sheyamim elu hem yemei ratzon. At the end of the day, there is no problem to say it after daybreak, even though it's not the most preferable time, because at the end of the day, all these days are a favorable time in 8 ratzon. And therefore, from this perspective, he says it's okay to say it during the day, which is what most people do at this time of the year. So, from this perspective, the Aruch HaShulchan, Rav Yechiel Epstein, indeed says that in many of the Slichos it says the word Laila. So, Achshav Sheba'harbei Mekomot, he says, in many places, Omim Slichot be'od shekvar hayom gadol, they say Slichos when the day is still big, namely during the day. Don't say the words that talk about night, because it's dover shkarim, it's like lying before God. V'lachen yidalgu devot elu. And indeed, Rav Ovadia Yosef indeed says If you can't say the most preferable time, the second preferable time is make a slichos minyan before mincha. So, to sum up, during slichos, it's not enough to be in the right crowd, a minyan. It's not enough to be in the right place, a shul. You should also be at the right time, which is between midnight and dawn. If you can't say it then, you could say it during the day, except for according to the Munkacher Rebbe. Well, if that's the case, what justification is it to say slichos between what we call night and midnight, namely the 10 o'clock minyan for slichos, the 9:30 minyan for slichos? It seems like there's no justification. The only justification that I found on the books is that same tshuva of Rav Moshe Feinstein. But let's read it carefully. They can't say it at the right time. They're scared to go out at night at a late time. And there, and only then, he says, and therefore, they can't say it from midnight until dawn, and therefore they will not say slichos at all. They can't get a minyan, or it's dangerous to go out at night. Then he says, begeder hora'at sha'ah, only for that year, he allows it between what we call night till midnight, but it's not called slichos, it's just called a davening. She'ein mo'alim bekoach yud gimel midot sheyesh avtacha shelo yachsaru vekam, ela kestam tefillah. So, if you say it then, it is not slichos, it's just a davening. But he does say that it's a good idea to do, so that the tzibur will have what he calls hitorarut l'tshuva. They'll start thinking about tshuva, about repentance, because of the slichos. But once again, it's not called slichos, it's called stam tefillah. You can do this every night. You can even do it on Saturday night, even though the Shari Tshuva, in the name of the Maharam Zchuta, says on Saturday night, dafka, you can't say vidui before Chatzot because of Shabbos that just ended. He says at the end of the day, it's all based on Kabbalah, and if need be, namely, it's dangerous to go out at night, you can't get a minyan later, then and only then it's okay. But remember, it's not called slichos, it's only called a tefillah. And he makes it clear at the end of his tshuva that you have to make it clear to the whole community, lefarsemer lahodia shu rak ora'at sha'am b'pnei adchak, rak b'shana zu, l'shana aba'ah, yirmu slichot bazman, that it's only for that year, and next year you say slichos on time. So to sum up, the best time to say slichos is between midnight and dawn. If you can't, during the day. The only time you can say it between nightfall and midnight is if you have no choice, there's no other minyan, it's dangerous to go out at night, and only for that year. And therefore I find it very surprising that people have it every single year. It's like considered a total heter. Rav Moshe for sure did not allow it every year, and I think that it should be changed. We do the minhag of slichos, let's do it properly. And therefore, we should do it between midnight and dawn, or during the day, and try to stay away from the time between nightfall and chatzot. And so, it is controversial. It continues to be controversial, and I actually put out a feeler to you. If you know of any justification beyond Rav Moshe, which as we saw was not exactly a justification, please let me know. To me, rabbigrunstein@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing.
מה שידבר לי, השיביים, מה שישר לי, ידיים